All right, so welcome to the 2018 goal planning session. And I think most of you know me already because we've connected in some way, shape, or form. But if not, my name is Sandra Dawes, and today's session is all about going through the workbook that was available for you to download in previous emails, and that's what we're going to be walking through today. And before we even dive into the workbook, what I wanted to do is celebrate our accomplishments for 2017. So if there's anything that you would like to celebrate that you accomplished this year, go ahead and include it in the chat because I think that celebrating our accomplishments is a big thing that we sometimes disregard because our accomplishments aren't as huge or as significant as we'd like them to be. And I think that it's important to celebrate our accomplishments no matter how big they are, because when you can think about the things that you have done, the things that have worked well for you this year, then you can build on that in 2018 and think about those things when you're building your plan for the upcoming year. So what do you want to celebrate? What significant things did you achieve in 2017? And when I say significant, significant to you, no matter how big or small they might seem to others, what would you like to celebrate? What accomplishment would you like to celebrate for 2017? Um, for me, I would think that it would be putting on my second career fair this year in the spring of 2017 and investing in myself because I was able to go on a business retreat in September in Spain, and Spain is on my vision board. So I was really excited about finally getting to visit Spain and spend 10 days there doing the solo thing, as well as spending 3 days with fellow female entrepreneurs. And it was a really great experience and definitely something that is worthy of celebration because it's something that at the start of this year, I never would have imagined that I would have achieved, but I was able to do it without putting myself in any major financial debt or anything like that. So that's definitely something that I wanted to celebrate for 2017. And so for those of you just joining in, we were talking about what we want to celebrate, accomplishments that we want to celebrate for 2017, because I think that it's important to think about that before we jump right into planning for the upcoming year. So even if you don't want to share in the chat your celebrations for 2017, definitely make note of it because it is important to pat yourself on the back, to celebrate the things that did work well for you in the year that's coming to an end. And so, because we're going to try to get this all done within 60 minutes, because I know how precious everyone's time is, especially during the holiday season. So let's dive right in. So if you have your workbook in front of you, and even if you don't, as long as you have a blank piece of paper, we can jump right in. And so the first question that you're asked is, what do you want to be celebrating a year from now, on December 31st, 2018, when you review your year? So when you're a year away from where we are right now, what do you want to be celebrating? So just like we were talking about celebrating our accomplishments for 2017, what is it that you want to be celebrating in 2018? So that's what you want to start to think about because, again, if you've read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it's all about starting with the end in mind. So when you can think about where you want to be at the end of next year, then you can really start to think about how you're going to get there. But it's important to really think about where it is that you want to be.
Only one sitting nice on my couch for the evening.
I'm just going to put everybody on mute. So yeah, that's the first question. What do you want to be celebrating on December 31st, 2018 when you're reviewing the year next year, at the end of next year? What do you want to do? Do you have financial goals that you want to achieve? Is there a specific course that you want to take, a specific course that you want to develop? Yeah, so it's really about thinking about what kinds of accomplishments that you want to be celebrating at the end of next year. Maybe it's about, maybe you have health goals. Maybe it's about becoming more health conscious in 2018. So is it about modifying your diet so that you're eating healthier? Is it about doing more in terms of physical activity in the new year? What are your goals? What are the things that you really want to accomplish a year from now? So that's the first question to really think about, and I'll give you a couple minutes of silence where I'm not chattering so much for you to take the time to write that down. And again, if you have any questions as we are going through the whole process, you can feel free to drop them in the chat box. Somebody's asking, PT's asking, how do you create the vision board? And the vision board is really just about creating a board that inspires you, creating a board of the things that you want to accomplish. So whether those be pictures of specific things that you want to accomplish, or inspiring words, phrases, or quotes that you want to include on there. Like I said, I wanted to go to Spain, and Spain was on my vision board as one of the places that I wanted to visit. I had a dream backyard on my vision board. I'm looking at it now. There's a picture of a camel ride because I'd love to do that. So it's really just about different visual things that you can put on there that are going to inspire you. It's a reminder of what it is that you're working towards. And so I wish I could shift my laptop around to show you, but I have mine on my wall, and it's one of the first things that I see every morning. And so that's there to be that constant reminder of the things that I'm working towards. And if you don't want to, okay, I think we're okay. Sorry, I'm just, oh, you're welcome. And for me, one of the things that I've been doing in my vision board workshops recently is giving the participants a picture frame, and so that you can do it and have it somewhere that you're going to be able to post it. Because I think that a lot of times when I used to do them on Bristol board and that sort of thing, it's something that you do and you sort of tuck it under your bed or roll it up and put it somewhere. And I think that it's nice to have a vision board that you can, put on your wall and have as a constant reminder of what it is that you want to achieve. And if you want to disable your video, Kat, then you can do that. I'm trying to do it and it's not allowing me to. But either way, it should be okay. And I am planning to do a vision board workshop in the month of July, so I will definitely keep you all informed as to when I work out all the details of that. And so on page 2, the second thing that we're looking at is, how do you want to feel about 2018? And I think that this is important to consider when you, especially, it sort of all ties into the vision board, because it's a visualization as well, because when you can think about the emotions that you want to be experiencing in the upcoming year, you can you can visualize that and really get into that feeling. And I think that when you can put all those things together, when you can use all five of your senses and really incorporate that into your visualization, even when you look at your vision board, when you can get excited and happy about the things that you want to achieve, the things that you're trying to invite into your life, then that helps to bring it to you even closer and opens up the doors for the opportunities for you to experience the things that you want to experience. Because when we head into our goals thinking that they're impossible, that we're never going to make this happen, and it's all just some sort of dream, we end up sabotaging ourselves. So it's about really thinking about the feelings that you want to feel in the year as you're pursuing your goals. So it's not, you don't want to be frustrated, you don't want to be overwhelmed, you want to be excited, you want to be motivated, you want to be inspired to do the things that you know you need to do to make those goals a reality. And I think that when you can think about exactly how emotionally tied you are to your vision, that really helps to make it flow a lot easier. I'm just going to check. Oh no, that's okay, Kat. Don't worry about it. So yeah, how do you want to feel about 2018? Do you want to, was 2017 a stressful year for you? Do you want to be more relaxed? Do you want to be more organized? I know that organized is definitely something that I want to feel more of in the upcoming year, is that I have a better grip on all the things that I want to achieve, and I'm not feeling those feelings of frustration and overwhelm or fatigue, because there's so much that I want to do, and there doesn't seem to be enough hours in a day or days in the week to get it all done. So how do you want to feel about 2018? And I will stop talking so that you can write down some thoughts down about that. And I'll also use my phone. And again, if you have any questions, just jot them down in the chat and I will answer them for you. Okay, hopefully I'm giving you guys enough time to jot some thoughts down. I know that you might not get everything you want to get written down in the workbook done in the session, but at least you'll have a good start. So on page 3, the question that you're asked is, what will you need to do mentally to make 2018 the year you've envisioned? And I think this is a big one because it's about identifying what mindset shifts you might need to make in order to really stay focused and committed to making your goals a reality in 2018. And so it might be that you have to build and improve upon your self-esteem and self-confidence so that you can step outside your comfort zone in a way that you haven't in the past. Maybe it's about working on feeling worthy of the things that you want for yourself and your life in the upcoming year, and in the years to come. A lot of times we have limiting beliefs and we're not even aware that they exist. So it's really about getting clear on the shifts that you need to make. Maybe it's about creating new habits, and letting go of some old ones that aren't serving you in the way that you need them to in order to truly focus on your goals. Some of you may have already gotten the spreadsheet that I sent that was meant to help you identify how much time you had each day to focus on your goals. And I think that when you work through that spreadsheet, you begin to realize that we do a lot of things that waste or are not the best use of our time. And so it's about looking at eliminating procrastination and really doing things that are going to help us and serve us in the best way possible. You know, maybe it's about limiting how much TV you watch, or it's about just looking at what time-wasting activities that you're currently doing that you could be letting go of in order to really focus and have more time to work on your goals and really focus on the things that you want to get done. I know for me, and I think I talked about this in the Canadian Small Business Women webinar a couple weeks ago, this whole idea of not being able to say no when sometimes it just makes more sense to say no. So it's about maybe letting go of this need to put everybody else's needs ahead of your own. And so prioritizing and getting clear on your priorities so that you can establish boundaries in order to focus on the things that are important to you, and doing those things in the best way possible. So yeah, what do you need to do mentally to make the year the kind of year that you've envisioned for yourself? So maybe it's about starting affirmations. Maybe it's about incorporating a meditation practice into your daily routine so that you are more focused, so that you're taking the time to clear your mind and really give yourself the time that you need to work through things sometimes, because I think that sometimes we can get so deep into our work that we haven't given ourselves the quiet time we need in order to reset and really sometimes clear our mind in a way to uncover the solutions to the problems that we're looking for. And I know that it's happened to me more than I like to admit, where even when you're looking for something and you tear apart the whole house looking for something, and just when you're about to give up, you kind of look to the side and it's been sitting there the whole time. And it's one of those things where, you just have to sometimes not try so hard and just know that it's all going to work out the way it's meant to, and just be kind to yourself, really. And I think that it's about not necessarily feeling like you have to work hard, but about finding a way to work in a smarter way. And the first time I heard that was probably 10 years ago, or maybe more than that. But I remember I was on a flight to Las Vegas for a business trip, and I remember sitting with a couple, and at the time I had been working a full-time job and a part-time job, and I was telling this couple about this, and they sort of shook their head and told me I needed to find a way to work smarter and not harder. And I had no idea what that meant at the time. But now I get it. That hard work isn't necessarily the key to success. It's about working in a way that makes sense. And that doesn't mean working 20 hours a day for it to happen. So yeah, take some time to think about what it is you need to do mentally in order to really make this upcoming year a really successful one, or the one that you want it to be, the one that you've envisioned in the first exercise. And I'll give you a couple minutes with that. And don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. Okay, now on the fourth page, we start getting a little bit more detailed. And we're looking at resources. So what resources will you need to make your goals happen? And when we talk about resources, we're talking about financial support. And when I say support, we're talking about help and time. And again, that time piece ties into that productivity spreadsheet. So if you haven't received that, shoot me a comment in the chat box and I will get that to you. Maybe I'll just send it with the replay just in case as well. But yeah, so financial. So if you're planning to take a course, or even if you're planning to quit your job this year, what kind of financial resources would you need in order to make that happen? Maybe you want to go on a vacation. What kind of money do you need to make that happen? And support, I talk about paid and unpaid. So maybe it's about finding volunteers to help you do some of the stuff that you're looking for, and maybe it's about hiring somebody. I know that maybe you need to hire a bookkeeper, maybe you need to hire a virtual assistant, maybe you need to hire somebody to help you with your social media. It all depends on what your goals are, whether they're personal or business goals, but it's about understanding that we cannot do it all on our own. And I think that the bigger your goals are, the more help you're going to need to make them a reality. And so it's about understanding that you don't have to do it on your own, that it's okay to ask for help, and it's about finding help from the right people. So it's first about getting clear on the kinds of help you need, the kind of resources you need, financial, bodies, or time, and just figuring it out from there. Any questions about that? I know that that might not be completely straightforward, but yeah, it's about really understanding what kind of help you need, because once you understand what kind of help you need, whether it be money, support, or time, then you can figure out a plan to get the resources you need so that you can really make your goals a reality. So it's about figuring out what tools you need. So it's just like, I'll use this example because I've been putting together furniture for the past couple of days because we're moving. So it's about, you have all these pieces and you need to make sure you have all the tools with you in order to put everything together. So it's the same thing with your goals. You need to make sure that whether you have all the tools or not right now, you identify what tools you need so that you can go out and get them if you don't have them. And I think that that's important because you don't want to get halfway through the project and then realize that you need this key piece that you're missing. And so it's about understanding or identifying the things that you do need to make those goals happen, and then figuring out a plan to get those resources under your belt so that you can do the things that you need to do in the most effective way possible. So I'll give you some time to think about that. And again, if you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat box for me. That productivity spreadsheet makes me realize that I should probably get up a lot earlier in order to really work on my goals and make them happen, because I think it starts at 5:30 or 5 o'clock. But yeah, I could get a lot more done if I got up earlier, which would probably require me to go to sleep a little earlier too. So hopefully that was enough time for you to start working on thinking about the resources that you need to make your goals a reality. I know that can be a bit daunting because there's so many things, especially if you have some massive goals that you want to work on in 2018. There are a lot of pieces to think about and variables to think about. So at least get an idea of the kinds of resources you'll need, and then you can fine tune it as you move along, as time passes, as you reach certain benchmarks, you'll start to realize what else you need in order to take you that much further to making your goals a reality. So we get to page 5 now, and it's about thinking about what you would need to accomplish in the first quarter to really feel good about your progress. So what would you need to accomplish in the next 90 days in order to feel like you were on your way to making 2018 your best year yet? And I think that that's important to consider because it's all about benchmarks, right? You want to measure your progress. You want to know what kind of progress you're making, how far you're getting to the accomplishment of your goals. And so what would you need to do in the first 90 days in order to really feel like you're making significant progress? Would you need to have hired some help to get you closer to achieving your goals? Would you have had to save, generate, or invest a certain amount of money in order to feel like that you were on your way to achieving your goals? And would you have to have created a certain amount of time, free time for yourself in order to feel like you have achieved or getting closer to achieving your goals? So that's the kind of stuff that you want to think about in this question on page 5 is what kinds of things would you need to accomplish in the first 90 days in order to feel like you were making progress, that you're feeling good about the progress that you're making towards your goals. And I'll give you some time to think about that. And remember, if you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat for me. And I think that it's important to think about the fact that even if you don't accomplish everything that you want to in the first 90 days, it's not about beating yourself up about it. It's not about thinking that the goal is never going to happen because you haven't made the progress you wanted to. It's about taking the time, whether it's each month or waiting to the end of the quarter, to really look at what's working, what isn't working, and being honest with yourself about that so that you can adjust, tweak, and do things even better in the second quarter. Because I think that that's important, that it's not about, looking at the first 90 days and thinking, okay, I didn't get half of that stuff done, so what's the point? It's about, okay, I didn't get half the stuff I wanted to get done in the first 90 days. Why didn't I get them done? And what can I do differently in the second quarter? And I think that's an important step to include in your plan, is that, okay, to build in some time to review and track your progress in the first quarter so that you don't get to the end of next year and then think, holy crap, I've been doing this one thing for the entire year and it's done nothing to bring me closer to the achievement of my goals. But for whatever reason, because I didn't reflect, I didn't adjust, I continued to do it and wasted my time because I didn't get any closer to the achievement of my goals. So I think that it's very important to track your progress and to be really honest with yourself about the progress you're making and what is working and what isn't working, and not being afraid to adjust the plan if things aren't working out the way that you want them to. And now the question on page 6, that's asking you, what will you do to reward yourself in celebration of your progress? That's referring back to the progress that you outlined in question number 5. So it's about, what are you going to do to celebrate your progress, the progress you made in the first 90 days? And I think that it's important to create incentives for yourself if incentives are what motivate you. Now, I think I mentioned this in the CSBW webinar that I did a couple weeks ago about a colleague of mine who's in a mastermind where if she doesn't do the things that she stated to her mastermind group that she was going to achieve, that she paid $100 to the group, and actually all the members do that, so that they commit to doing something and that they actually penalize themselves if they don't get those things accomplished. And so it's about understanding yourself, knowing yourself, and knowing what's going to motivate you. Is celebrating your accomplishments and giving yourself a treat going to motivate you, or is it going to be penalizing yourself in some way, shape, or form for not achieving those things that's going to motivate you? I'm trying to think whether, I know that I wouldn't want to be out $100, so maybe that would motivate me, but I think that I might be too stressed out about having the risk of having to pay that $100 that I wouldn't focus on my goals. So I think that for me, creating that incentive, something to celebrate those accomplishments, works out a lot better for me. So again, it's all about what works for you and knowing what's going to keep you motivated and inspired to focus on your goals and do the things that you know are going to get you closer to achieving them. So yeah, it's all about, number 7, it's all about what kinds of things are you going to do to celebrate. And they don't have to be extravagant, right? It could be that you're going to treat yourself to a mani-pedi. It could be that you're going to treat yourself to an hour-long massage. It could be anything. Maybe it's about some kind of special dessert or treat, or taking yourself out to dinner. Whatever it is, it should be meaningful to you. Something that is going to motivate you, something that's going to give you something to look forward to when you hit those challenges and obstacles that are an inevitable part of the journey when it comes to pursuing goals that mean something to us. You know, it's never going to be easy. It's not going to just flow the way that we'd like it to. It's not going to go all according to plan, but it's about staying committed to the goal and knowing that, you know, the bumps and bruises along the way are just part of the journey, and that it is going to take you somewhere, and that end result is going to be totally worth everything that it took to get there. But yeah, I definitely think that creating incentives for yourself, creating rewards for yourself is an important part of your goal planning strategy. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. We're almost done. Just one more question to go. And so the final question in the workbook is, what are you committing to doing in the next 30 days? And I think that this is a great way to end it, because it's about, I mean, here we are, and it's December 28th, right? So we've got 3 more days till we're in 2018. Is that right? Anyway, the new year is around the corner, and I think that it's a great opportunity to think about what you want to do for the month of January, so that when January 2nd comes around, because I know that most of us will be really celebrating and doing family things and all that other good stuff on January 1st. When January 2nd comes around, you'll have an idea of what it is that you need to do to really make an impact in 2018 in whatever way that means for you and your goals. So it's about creating that 30-day plan. What do you want to accomplish in the first 30 days of 2018? And this is, so you want to think about what it is that you said you wanted to accomplish in the first 90 days, and really break that down and think about what it is that you want to accomplish in the first third of those 90 days, right? So is it that you want to have signed up for a course? Maybe you want to have started to interview people to hire, whether that be a paid or volunteer position. Maybe you want to have reached your first benchmark when it comes to your financial goals. Whatever it is, think about what it is you want to accomplish in the first 30 days, and you want to make sure that you're breaking these down into manageable chunks, right? So if part of your plan is to lose weight in 2018, you're not going to lose 20 pounds in the first 30 days, right? You want to break that down into manageable chunks, whether that's losing weight or saving money. $10,000 for most of us isn't going to happen in the first 30 days unless you're selling something really expensive, something really, you know what I mean? It's about really understanding what it is that you want to accomplish in that first 90 days, and then breaking that down into smaller, manageable chunks so that you feel that it's totally doable. So is it that you want to have generated $500 in profit for the first week, and then you break it down, and then that would be $2,000 for the year, for the month, for the year? That's not right. But it's about really understanding what it is that you want to accomplish in those 90 days, and then breaking it down into the smaller chunks so that you have an idea of what it is that you want to accomplish in January, and then you can just build on it, and then look at what you want to do in February, what you want to do in March, and then review that at the end of the first quarter to really track your progress, measure your progress, and get an idea of whether or not you're getting where you want to be in the time that has passed. And if you aren't making the progress that you want to, really adjusting that plan, tweaking the plan, asking for help in the areas that you're struggling, reviewing your beliefs, the mindset, and everything else that might be holding you back, and really just adjusting as you go along. This isn't, these plans aren't etched in stone. They're meant to be organic. They're meant to move with you and continue to serve you. These plans aren't meant to discourage you. They aren't meant to frustrate you. Everything that we are doing in this workbook is meant to support you and encourage you and motivate you to stay on track and do the things that you want to do to really make the progress that you want to make, and really celebrate in the way that you wanted to. When you look at what you put in that first question about what do you want to be celebrating on December 31st, 2018, like all of this is going to contribute to leading you to that. And even if you only celebrate half of the stuff that you wanted to, that's still something, because when you started the year, you hadn't accomplished those things. So I think that any progress is good progress, and that's definitely one of the things that I want you to really think about as you really flesh out these plans and start to get excited, if you aren't excited yet, about 2018. And you can go ahead and ask me any questions in the chat box. I've got this up here, so I will keep that up. And I wanted to share this with you. Some of you might have seen this already. So I am doing planners for 2018. I've got two planners, a goal planner and a productivity planner. And the productivity planner is really just there to help you identify the things you need to be doing on a daily basis, so that you never wake up in the morning and think to yourself, what am I going to do today? Because you have a clear idea each day of what it is you need to do. And I think that that's important, and I want to support you in achieving your goals in a meaningful way. So when you get either of these planners, or both of these planners, you get a private Facebook group where I will be supporting you and sharing different tools and things to really help you stay focused and stay focused on your goals, and different tools to help you with your mindset, because I know that that's often the biggest challenge is controlling that mindset piece and not allowing the setbacks to discourage you. And I think that that's the biggest piece, because, you know, we all have an idea of the way we would like it to work. And I think that when we get hit with these obstacles and challenges, it can make us question whether or not we're on the right track, whether or not the things that we want for our lives will ever be possible. And I think that it's often just a test of how committed we are to making these things a reality. So I want to support you in this, and so when you get either of the planners, you do get 365 days of support from me in that private Facebook group. And the other thing that I'm offering to all of you for sitting through this goal planning session with me is a complimentary one-on-one session with me that you can use at any point during the year, so that where you might be having challenges and want to just talk through anything that has to do with your goals, your mindset, any of that kind of stuff. And so yeah, you would get the one-on-one session with me, and that's a 60-minute session with me, and the private Facebook group that will be open, and I'll be checking it on a regular basis to answer any questions, comments, and share tools with you to help you stay on track, and anything that I find that helps you with your efficiency, with your productivity, I will definitely be sharing in that group as well. And the planners, I believe, are $47 each, and then if you get both of them, it's $67. I believe that's correct, but I did send, that's the link that I've shared with you there. I will send the link in an email with the replay of this as well for you. And if you have any questions, you can just reply to that email and I will answer that for you. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to include. I will say this as well, is that I am working on a program that is designed to help you quadruple your productivity so that you can get a lot done in 90 days. And so I'm looking to release that at some point in January once my move craziness is done. But yeah, I'm learning that multitasking is not necessarily a good thing, so I'm focusing on one thing at a time. And so right now it's all about unpacking and getting organized. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2018. I think that it's going to be an awesome year. I've learned a lot in this past year, and I'm really looking forward to taking things up a notch. And I would love to work with you in making that happen for you and your goals as well. So I will, again, send the link to the planners for you to take a look at. These planners are not physical planners. I should mention that they are fillable PDF. And if you prefer to print them, you can totally do that. But these are all going to be delivered to you electronically. And who knows, maybe in 2018 I will print them. And I'm actually working on doing some journals and stuff like that. So lots of things going on. But again, for what I wanted to offer you to you today for sitting with me through this goal planning session is the two planners, the goal planner, the productivity planner. Either or will get you access to the Facebook group and a one-on-one session with me, because I want to really help you make 2018 your best year yet. So I will check to see if there are any questions. It doesn't look like there are. But again, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat now. If you prefer to ask me privately, once I send the email out with the replay and everything, you can just shoot me a message and I will respond to you that way. I hope that was helpful. I hope that it helped you you might not have gotten your entire plan done. Hopefully you have an idea of what it is you want to accomplish in the first quarter of 2018. You have an idea of where you'd like to be at the end of 2018, and you can really start to flesh out how that will all flow. So where you want to be in the first 30 days, where you want to be in the first 90 days, and then you can just continue to build from there, right? So once you have an idea of where you want to be in the first 90 days, then you can look at where you want to be in the second quarter, and then that'll give you an idea of where you want to be in the first half of the year, and then build on it from there. And I think that once you start to make progress, once you start to see things unfolding, you'll have an even better idea of what else you need to do to really get you closer to accomplishing the things that you've outlined in that first question, the vision that you have for 2018. And again, Vision Board Workshop is coming in January, so I would love to see you live if you're local to the Greater Toronto area, because it'll probably be in Etobicoke, Mississauga area. Just trying to iron out a location, but once I have that, I will definitely share that with you too, because it's one of my most favorite workshops to do, and it's a great exercise, and I love having a group of women together to do the workshop because it's such a supportive environment. I just feel like anytime I've done this, the women, whether they knew each other or not beforehand, really start to work together and encourage one another to dream big, to put things on that vision board that they might be questioning and uncertain about. And so I can't wait to do it again, and so I will definitely be sharing that with you. But I think that the the goal planner and the productivity planner will really help you get organized in a different way, because it's about identifying on a daily basis the things that are working, the things that aren't working, identifying what the most important tasks that you want to accomplish each day are. And I think that when you can have a planner like that, whether it's the planner that I'm selling or another planner, when you can really start to think about that stuff on a daily basis, when you can spend your time the night before thinking about the things that you want to accomplish the following day and really get specific about the things that are must-dos on your list, I think that it really helps you to accomplish things in a better way, in a more effective way, and you'll really start to feel like you are getting closer to the achievement of your goals, and that's just going to inspire you to do more and to amp things up and even dream bigger in the future. So ladies, thank you so much for your time tonight. Again, I thank you because I'm honored that you spent time with me tonight, because I know how hectic this time of year is. I hope that this helped, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you have the download of the workbook, you have a variety of ways to reach me, whether it's email, my phone number, all that good stuff. And I will definitely be forwarding the replay of this so you can go through it if you want. And I wish you all the best for 2018, whether you work with me in the Facebook group or not. I wish you all the best, much success, and have a happy new year. And I can't wait to hear all the amazing things that you accomplish in the new year. Have a good night, ladies.